Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, again, we just thank you for the freedom we have to serve and for voices that will be heard tonight. And I just pray that that everyone is able to speak and everyone's heard and that we're able to reason with each other. I just pray for the agenda, Lord, and every decision that will be made on that. I just thank you for each family that's represented. I thank you for our community. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order is the approval of the consent agenda. Or the approval of the agenda. Have a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Have a second? With a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Likewise, no. The ayes have it. The approval of the consent agenda is the meeting.
I'm sorry, everyone's saying they can't hear. We can't hear.
Is it on?
Put it closer to you.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. The next item is the approval of the consent agenda, which is the minutes of the April 14th meeting. Are there any additions or subtractions? Not hearing any, can I have a motion to present or to accept as presented?
So moved.
Got a motion, can I have a second, please?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Next item is the special presentation, none. Special requests and donations, we don't have any. We have a financial report, and I presume it's going to be given by, right?
Yes, sir.
All the Colonel giving up, so I thought maybe he was going to. And before she gets started, Mr. Trigg will be here. He was late getting in, and he's on his way, so he'll be here just in a minute.
Mayor, council members, as of April 24th, 2026, for the month of April, the general fund revenue totals were $668,554.08, with expenses totaling $733,638.83, for a decrease of $65,084.75. The water revenues were $91,346.72, with expenses totaling $66,331.79, for an increase of $25,014.93. The cemetery revenue totals was $44.62, with expenses totaling $626.87, or a decrease of $582.25. For our transit, our revenues this month were $24,648.21, expenses totaling $35,082.80, or a decrease of $10,434.59. The Fincastle revenues this month were $196,768.45, and expenses totaled $188,625.90, or an increase of $8,142.55.
Thank you for your presentation on the budget. Next item on the agenda is old business. We don't have any. The next one is new business. First reading of fiscal year 2027 budget ordinance.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, members of the public. This is a first reading pursuant to the provisions of section 15.2-2506 of the Code of Virginia. The The Bluefield, Virginia Town Council will hold a public hearing on the proposed FY '27 budget on May 12, 2026, at 6 p.m. in the council chambers of the municipal building at 112 Hufford Drive, Bluefield, Virginia. A brief summary of the budget is enclosed in that. The first reading of the ordinance is as follows. Ordinance number 05092026-3. An ordinance to approve and adopt the 2027 fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, a Virginia municipal corporation, including the increase in real estate tax, cigarette tax, trash service, water rate, and decrease of vehicle tax. Whereas a public hearing concerning the approval and adoption of the proposed 2027 fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, a Virginia municipal corporation, was held before the council of the town of Virginia on 12 May 2026 at 6 p.m. after notice of the said public hearing will be published on the 25th day of April and the second day of May 2026 in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph, a newspaper having general circulation in Bluefield, Virginia. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that the 2027 fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, a Virginia municipal corporation, which is attached to this ordinance, including the increase of real estate tax, cigarette tax, trash service fee, and decrease of motor vehicle tax, is hereby approved and adopted by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, on this 9th day of June 2026. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that under the water fund fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, the Virginia Municipal Corporation, water rates were increased by an additional 2% in fiscal year 2027, and such increase is ratified and approved. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that the cost of reconnecting delinquent water user fee were increased to $40 per occurrence. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that under general fund on the general property taxes line, as included in the 2027 fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, Virginia Municipal Corporation, real estate rates were increased by an additional 7 1/4 cents, bringing the tax rate to 26 cents per hundred. Such increase is ratified and approved. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that under general fund on other local taxes line as included in the 2027 fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, Virginia Municipal Corporation, cigarette taxes were increased by an additional 0.045 cents per pack, bringing the tax rate to 17 cents per pack. As and such increase is ratified and approved. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that under general fund on charges for services line, as included in the 2027 fiscal year budget for the town of Bluefield, a Virginia Municipal Corporation, trash service were increased by an additional $2 per month, bringing the service fee to $17 per month, and such increase is ratified and approved. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that the town of Bluefield, Virginia, currently imposes a motor vehicle tax of $10, and such approved that this tax is amended and reduced to $1 per motor vehicle, trailer, or semi-trailer in 2027 is ratified and approved. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that this ordinance is hereby adopted on this 9th day of June 2026, and this ordinance shall be effective on the first day of July 2026. Be it further ordained by the council of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, that Donnie Linkus, the mayor of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, shall execute this ordinance on behalf of the said council, and Vicki Quisenberry, the town clerk of the town of Bluefield, Virginia, shall attest to the same. That is the first reading of that ordinance. Mr. Mayor, I'm ready to go on to the minutes.
Would you first read the reconnect water charge?
So this is the first reading of ordinance number 0509-2026-1, an ordinance to approve and amend to Chapter 58 Utilities, Article 2 Water Division 4, Article 2 Water, Division 4, Rates, Charges, Billing Procedures, Section 58-127 of the Code of Ordinances of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia. Whereas a public hearing concerning the approval and amendment of Chapter 58 Utilities, Article 2 Water, Division 4 Rates, Charges, Billing Procedures, Section 58-127, connection or reconnection charge for the Town of Bluefield, Virginia Municipal Corporation, was held before the Town Council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, on the 12th day of May 2026 at 6:45 p.m. After notice of the said public hearing will be published in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph, a newspaper having general circulation in Bluefield, Virginia. Whereas the Council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, that having carefully considered the potential impacts and having concluded that the change described will benefit the Town of Bluefield as a whole, be it further ordained by the Council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, that Section 50-127 of the Town Code, connection or reconnection charge, becomes A, when water has been cut off for non-payment or bill or other cause, it shall not be turned on until a fee, as recommended by the town manager and approved by resolution of the town council, in addition to the amount of any outstanding bill and penalty has been paid in advance. In cases of disconnection for other cause, said cause must also be remedied to the satisfaction of the town manager. It is so ordained by the council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, and was duly adopted on July 9, 2026, and is effective immediately. Again, that was the first reading for that change, that ordinance.
The next is the first reading to amend Section 50-212, charging license tax on motor vehicles.
Yes, sir. First reading of ordinance number 0509-2026-2, an ordinance to approve an amendment to Chapter 50, Taxation, Article 5, Section 50-212 of the Code of Ordinances, Town of Bluefield, Virginia. Whereas a public hearing concerning the approval and amendment of Chapter 50, Taxation, Article 5, Motor Vehicle License, Section 50-212, amount of tax for the Town of Bluefield, the Virginia Municipal Corporation, was held before the Council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, on the 12th day of May 2026 at 6:45 p.m. After notice of the said public hearing will be published in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph, a newspaper having general circulation in Bluefield, Virginia. Whereas the Council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, that having carefully considered the potential impacts and having concluded that the change described will benefit the Town of Bluefield as a whole, be it further ordained by the Council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, that Section 50-212 of the Town Code, amount of tax, be amended to the annual tax to be imposed for the town motor vehicle licenses shall be an amount recommended by the town manager and approved by resolution of the town council for each motor vehicle, trailer, or semi-trailer. It is so ordained by the town council of the Town of Bluefield, Virginia, was duly adopted on June 9, 2026, as effective immediately.
And that was the first reading. There will be a second reading and a public hearing. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And then the comments from the citizens and the vote will be taken. The next item on the agenda is budget amendments, and that will come in. We'll talk all night.
Budget amendments, Mr. Mayor and council members, we have 5 to go over tonight. First one is settlement payment between Cintas and the city of Laurel. This was a legal proceeding. Cintas has had to pay their clients. Our payment received was $1,534.13. This is added to our miscellaneous revenue and expense out of our contingency line for settlement. Number 2 is reimbursement from Baycor for damaged transit bus. This is in the sum of $6,132.21. This will be put into our revenue line of miscellaneous income and expense out of vehicle and other equipment line for that reimbursement for 7 months. Number 3 is fines from school zone speed enforcement, a amount of $1,325. That is going into revenue line miscellaneous law enforcement and expense out of our Homeland Security line. Number 4 is a reimbursement for traffic safety initiatives, $2,509.19. That goes into miscellaneous law enforcement as revenue and expense out of investigative overtime under the police department for 7 months. Number 5 is overtime reimbursement from the state for TDO transport. Overtime reimbursement from the state for TDO transport. I'm not sure what TDO is, Chief.
Mental health evaluation.
Mental health evaluation transport. $216 is the reimbursement amount entered into law enforcement revenue and expense out of our investigative overtime for 7 months.
Thank you. We've all heard the budget amendments. That I have a motion to accept them as presented. A motion, we have a second, please. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Likewise for no. The ayes have it. That brings us pretty much to the meeting. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Any citizen that would like to make a comment can come forward, state your name, address, and what you want to discuss. I have the public comment form, and the first name is Frida Helmendal.
First, I'd like to thank you for letting me speak. I've been here 2 or 3 times, and I've tried to call several times. You can go through all 5 of your numbers on your phone system, and somebody's either out to lunch or they're not here. And I got to thinking the other day, and I thought, you know, what would be sad? There's people bombing places. If somebody was going to get you guys, then they come and away you go, because nobody never knows where nobody's at. But that's one thing said. Next thing, I come in to request on our street, because of you drive off Mountain Lane, we have 3 or 4 people that think they should be on NASCAR race strip. So we don't know what to do to get them slowed down. The lady beside me has 2 children. When her sister comes, there's about 7 of them there. We have 1 little girl across the road. We have a set of teachers up on the hill that's got some. I have 2 grandchildren. There's a lady at the end of the street has grandchildren. These people don't need to be driving this fast. They just don't need to be happening. I asked if you could put a speed bump, and I even tried calling the other day. They were fixing me. And I want to thank the man that did the removal of the gravel on the streets. He did a fantastic job on our street this year. Wonderful. I don't know who he is, but he needs to be thanked. So anyway, when he come down off the hill, he came too fast and took out the speed thing that was there, the thing that keeps the water from coming on my property. So they was nice enough to come and put that back. I appreciate that very much. But I was trying to call him while he had the asphalt there to see if he would put a speed bump in. And that was one more time that I tried to call him, and I couldn't get anybody. So I don't know where everybody's at, and I don't know what everybody's doing, but I've come personally one time, come all the way in the building, went all the way up those stairs, and the only one I could find was him. And he's the only one there.
He's the boss.
No, that's the one he's on duty. He can be proud of me, but what I'm saying is that this shouldn't be that way. So I don't know what you want to do, and I don't know if you want to work on our street, but we would greatly appreciate it, because I don't want to see none of those kids. We got those kids, and we don't see nothing happen to them. So if you could put a speed bump in, or there's no need to set a cop up there 24 hours a day, because this one gentleman just comes and goes when he wants to, and so it would make a difference on him. They'd probably hit and miss. So I don't know what else to tell you, but we're requesting them, please, put something on our street so our kids will be safe.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate you
Ms.
letting me
Ms.
speak.
Frida, don't forget the signs we put up.
They're not, you can see them, they're not right.
And we had to see,
They're not right.
it's right there when you pull in the street, barely in the street, and the sign's right there. That's everyone will see it because he's going too fast.
Well, it's hard to say that we did listen and we did put signs up,
And
right?
we appreciate that,
We
we
asked for more, we got nothing.
Can we legally, years ago, I was told we could put speed bumps in town, but someone told me they researched that and they can't. Can we put speed bumps in the town?
I suppose we can do anything you want me to do.
Well, chief, are they legal?
That's not my
Oh,
realm.
then we'll ask our attorney. So you know if they're legal?
I do not know. I certainly can research that and maybe ask some other Virginia municipal attorneys, but never been asked the question before and don't have an answer.
Mr. Town Manager, could he look into that for us?
I'm sorry to be the thorn in your side, but if you see one that the kids hurt, you're really sorry.
Well, I think it would be on the person that hit the child.
One is required to do.
I remember years ago, Mr. Trigg, do you remember years ago, we wanted to put some speed bumps in places in town, and they said we couldn't do it.
Didn't give no reason, but.
When you researched it, did you find that you could?
Yes, and if you research it, it will say in the state of Virginia, yes, and you talk to your town council.
This is something that we probably, summer's coming, we hope. Kids will be out playing, we hope. And if we can do anything we can do, make it safer, I think that's something that we should do if we can do. So let's look into that and see if we can help these people. I know, I've seen the sign, but I've never seen anybody slow down for a sign. I mean, you know, most people can't read and don't
They
read.
don't pay
O-
attention.
Obviously, because we get a lot of money from the Graham High School, we're telling you, if you speak, we're gonna collect $100, and we collect it every month, so, and I will say this, it's helped with the speeding and the stuff in front of Graham High School by a tremendous amount. So that procedure has worked and is working. I guess maybe, and this is just a hit and miss, maybe we can ask Chief if you could have the guys to maybe patrol a little more, but, you know, the state police cars are not gonna fly.
They do patrol, but it does, of course.
Around 7:45 is when some people are going pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like she said, I mean, if we're sitting there, they're
They're not
speeding.
speeding. They're,
We
you know,
said
you might-
it's for 2 weeks to slow it down and then they'll be back to it, so
yeah.
it's
But I really thank you for your concerns, and I think it's up to us to try to help, do something, whatever we can do and do it legally. I think we ought to just, is that the consensus of the council? Does anybody have anything they want to say? Mr. Trigg?
I think, look into it, maybe cover something.
Okay.
I used to live on Pleasant View many years ago, and it was bad then. It hasn't, apparently it hasn't changed. And, in fact, I can remember one night when a kid, I think I lived next door to Greg Owens' son in the tri-level. One kid didn't make the curve coming by our house and ended up in, at that time, it was an extra lot. So it's been going on for years. I lived there, 30 years or so.
We need to, of course, I'm sure we have it in other neighborhoods. There were a bunch of definite, I know several.
No, so I would caution the council that if you direct me to put in the speed bump on this road, then we will have to put them on every road. And I do not have the funds or the manpower for that.
Plus, if we do put speed bumps in, as soon as it snows, they will get tore out. I mean, that's what happens. I know on Washington Street, I believe it is uptown, they put them in temporarily,
Right.
and then take them up when the snow season hits, but there again, they get a grant to do everything they do, and we seem to. So maybe we can look, but I will say, I suffer your pain because we have it in just about all of the neighborhoods. I really don't know how and you know, the sad part about it is most of them aren't kids. A lot of them are adults that they leave for work 20 minutes late and try to get there 5 minutes early. But we do need to get the word out some way for these people that they better start slowing down. And some of them are in very, very influential positions. So maybe we can, I don't know, speed bumps is the answer. I don't know the answer. Maybe we can come up with an answer. So we'll move on with that. I'm sorry you're not reaching anybody at town hall. We have had a couple of people leave and are in the process of looking to hire people. So when you went upstairs, the only one there was the colonel. But that will be filled pretty soon. He's not in a good mood because he's alone with the other guys stuff all the time. But, anyway, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing this to our attention. I'm your neighbor. I understand I have kids who play on North Lane, South Lane, and sometimes they sneak off to other streets, as you all probably all see. But, anyway, I just wanted to ask, you said that you didn't see us here. Were you looking for us here at council? Maybe I misunderstood, but I just wanted to make sure that if you were looking for any of us upstairs, you won't find us here. We don't have office hours or office space or anything like that. And I checked my phone. I want to make sure that everyone who needs my number, who hasn't seen that listed on the website and has that and is able to reach me, so I'll be glad to share that. But I just wanted to make sure, if you came here looking for us, that you wouldn't find us here unless somebody's dropped by.
Can I ask why?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Can I ask why not? I mean, you hold a position, you hold a job. I mean, you're not supposed to be here.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, it's not what you say, full-time job. It's got a lot of volunteering to it, I would say that. It's not a high-paid position. But with that being said, all of our phone numbers are listed on the website, and you're more than welcome to call anytime you want to call. Me, for instance, I used to be on the road all the time. I'm not anymore. But if you don't give me or any of the rest of us, I'm sure, leave a message and we will call you back soon as we can. So the next item are there any other citizens we have a lot of citizens, this is great, that would like to make a comment? Please come forward and tell us. Nobody has a comment? I would like to say it's a pleasure to have Dr. Scott with us tonight. He's had a little tough time with some surgery, hasn't he? So we've been praying for him for a while, and work because we see him here right now. It's good, no other citizens' comments? You're more than welcome.
I was just gonna say, in Castle Lane, the same thing with the speeders. I live right on the bump, right, and people just fly, going back and forth to the country club all day long. I mean, there's a lot of traffic on that road. And, I mean, I've seen the school buses about to get hit several times there. And it's just, it's bad on Castle and Mount Lane and Pleasant Home.
Mount Lane.
Mount Lane is really.
People fly. People drive with fly. It's like a drag strip. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And the stop sign at the end of the Briarwood Lane, you might as well take it down. I'd like
Oh, they don't take
to
it.
The police chief is here. He is hearing your comments, and I can assure you, knowing him, he's going to be alerting the police officers to, hey, look at it, look for them. And people, we'll start seeing some people wishing they had slowed down. I feel most of the couple. Anybody else with the citizens' comment?
So the next meeting for the rate increases and such is,
May the 6th,
May the 12th, public hearing is May the 12th.
May the 12th. Yeah, maybe 12. Yes, ma'am?
So what was the thing about the license tax on the motor vehicles?
I guess I'm at liberty to say, you know, many, many years ago, there was a $10, it started out 10 or was it 5? 10. It started a $10 fee, and you went downtown and got a sticker to put on your car. The only way you could get that sticker was if you paid your personal property taxes. So that fee was put on to encourage people to pay their personal property taxes, and if they didn't, they couldn't get the sticker. So police cars at night driving around could see Donnie Lincoln has got 2 vehicles that don't have a sticker. He gets out there, we'll stop him and see what the deal is, and they give you a fine. And it worked for a lot of years. Our collection rate's about 97, 99%. So with the budget, and I won't go into great detail, but I'm telling you, these people worked really hard, and this council worked really, really hard on this budget. There are increases, and believe me, they're minimal because they have to be, not because they want to be. There's no increases there to just store up money. I can assure you that. So we looked at doing something with personal property tax, vehicle tax, things like that. The only thing we could come up with, is the staff came up with, is let's do away with that fee for that sticker. So that's what he was reading tonight, and instead of wiping it out, it will be, and if you wanted to put it back on, you have to go through all this whole procedure. So what he put in there tonight is if there was a 5 years from now, next year, whatever, there needs to be a fee put back on, it can be put back on. But the purpose of it was to collect personal property tax. That was the sole purpose of doing that. And it worked, didn't it, James? It worked really well. And we had some people, we've only about 3 or 4, that came and just went crazy on us, that they were cutting their hands off, they was going to amputate arms and everything else, was scraping that sticker off. So the council decided we just do away with putting the sticker on the windshield, but you still pay the $10 tax. And I've asked forever, what is this for? It's just, when you collect $10, you won't get anything. Most people don't even, 90% of the people don't even know what's on their tax ticket. When the personal property tax comes up, they don't even pay attention to what's that $10 for. But hopefully, our collections will stay up. Collections in everything in Bluefield, Virginia is very good, exceptionally good. So that was the reason for that. And there'll be, you're more than welcome at the public hearing to ask all the questions you want on any of the items whatsoever. And the colonel will have an answer as best we can. But I will tell you, if you have any questions, I presume you can call him and ask him, but there was a lot of time put into this budget this year because there was a lot of things that happened that are unforeseen. Insurances, minimum wage, there's just all kinds of stuff that has happened. And I've been here forever, and this I believe was the toughest year ever to do a budget. Because one thing I want everybody to understand about this budget for the last few years with our colonel, they know, we know, where every single penny goes. There's a line item listed, and you don't spend money. For instance, if the council says, we want to put speed bumps in, first thing he's going to say is, okay, I'll put them all over town. How am I going to pay for it? You tell me what line item's taken out of and where to put it in. And that's worked good because it's, I guess you would call it frivolous spending, maybe. I don't know that that's the correct word. But it is down to the pennies in every single line item. He meets with the department heads weekly, and they go over their budgets and all, and it's really worked. And I made the comment after last year's budget, because they worked forever on that thing. I said, well, this year, it ought to be a piece of cake. I mean, gosh, you got everything straightened out. Well, boy, was I wrong, because there was a whole lot of stuff that happened throughout the state of Virginia. The state of Virginia, federal government, and everybody are real good about telling you you have to do something. They don't give you any money to do it. So, I'm sure he'll be able to go over some of the reasons behind various rates, why they were this, what this is going on. Every rate on there he has an easy explanation to justify. And I'm sure if you can figure out a way to not have to do these and tell people, would love to hear it. So, with that being said, is there anybody else that would like to speak? You're more than welcome. We're tickled to death you're here. We don't usually have very many people to come.
The town of Haskell and Bluefield, West Virginia, they seem to always have grant money.
Bluefield, West Virginia,
Someone that works on grants?
West Virginia is considered a poor state, or a poor town. They get grants by just sneezing and get them. Virginia, based on medium gross income or whatever it is, household income, we have a hard time getting grants for things like they get. I don't know about Tazewell. I don't know their status. I do know if you will look at the real estate's going up. If you will look at the real estate taxes everywhere around us, we're lower than anybody, even with the rates, by a lot. Compared to Bluefield, West Virginia, we are extremely low compared to them. Whitwell, Tazewell, Richland, all of the areas, and I can talk on my mom, but the real estate taxes have not gone up in 20 years. 2006 was the last time. And I had someone confront me today, just ripping me about it. Well, my wages don't go up, and I have to manage. And I said, your wages haven't gone up in 20 years? So then they shut up. But this was a tough one. I have to say those two over there, and James, it's been tough, real tough. Carmen?
Since I've been here, which is a little less than 3 years, the town has received right around $7 million in grant money. So to say that we haven't received grants is false. We have received over $7 million. Now, each grant comes with a certain amount of payment that we have to do. So the $6 million sidewalk project that we're executing at the end of this year and into next year, we have to set aside $660,000. So no grant is free money.
And that's where we are, I mean, lots of things. Again, I'll ask, is there any citizen that would like to make a comment? You're more than welcome. Not hearing any, let's move to the next item, which is, would you? Who?
Right.
Right. Yes,
I
ma'am.
almost forgot. What's this recycling fee? I don't recycle.
We don't have a recycling fee to it.
We just have a trash service fee, which includes the recycling.
The trash service people.
In other words, they pick your trash up at your house 4 or 5 times a month. It's going from $15 to $7. Ma'am,
$15 to $17.
and if you do recycle, you set that out on Tuesday, I believe it is.
Yes, sir.
There's no charge for them to pick that up.
Well, it's included in the charge.
It's included in the
Was
17.
that in the newspaper, then somewhere I saw that? Recycling?
Yeah.
It's not here. That's just recycling, yeah. Just bring that over.
Anybody else? So now we'll move to the police chief's report.
Nothing to report this evening.
Thank you, sir. That's always a good thing. Our officers are out all the time. Our attorney's report.
Mr. Mayor and Council, worked with Mr. Hanson on the ordinance language. Vicky reached out with an issue where the county was taxing town property. In the Hickory.
Their road.
So we, got that cleaned up. It was just a sort of a bookkeeping error on their part. Did they also rebate?
Okay.
So that's pretty much it.
Do you know anything about a schedule on the property beside Grand Middle School, the intermediate school, I believe it is intermediate school? Or the big tree has failed about it being auctioned or something? Do you?
For delinquent taxes?
I don't think it is. Do we know when that's gonna happen? I know.
Those are generally pretty well publicized. I do not know.
Okay. Because I heard April 10th. Well, April 10th kind of gone.
It was on their schedule back in the fall, but something happened that they didn't do the auction, and it's supposed to be rescheduled, but I have not heard when it was going to be rescheduled.
But, then with the attorney, so we'll go to the town manager's report.
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, council members. A few things for the calendar. We have on the 2nd of May, Mother's Day Market. That'll be executed at the Sanders House. Then we have at least, I think we have 12 vendors there now. Last year we tried to do that at Fincastle. We changed the venue to the Sanders House to try to get more people to the Sanders House location so that they could see that venue and tour it and have a good time there. The second venue that we're going to have there is called Chill at the Grill. Our Recreation Department is executing that at the Sanders House. It goes from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., different food trucks, different vendors, live music, 3 different bands, untrained professionals, Terry Mullins and Steel Cooking. Untrained professionals are 12 to 3. Terry Mullins is 4 to 5, and Steel Cooking is 6 to 9. There's also a cruise night attached to that, starting around 4 to 5 p.m. The East River Mountain Cruisers, Jack Necessary will attend that event. So we look to that event to be really popular and hopefully very well attended. We back up to the 10th of May, is the Mother's Day Buffet at Fincastle. Reservations required for that. At the end of the month, the pool openings are scheduled. Fincastle's pool is scheduled to be open on the 24th of May, and Harmony Acres is scheduled to be open on the 25th of May. That is, of course, weather dependent. The carnival will come to town at the city park, and I have that listed on the 29th of May. The council updates, joint public hearing on the 4th of May at 6 p.m. with the Planning Commission on the conditional use permit for the tobacco shop that has been advertised at the Walmart shopping center. That is the joint public hearing with the Planning Commission is here at Council Chambers. Joint City Board and Town Council meeting to be held on Tuesday, the 5th of May at Fincastle at 6 p.m. to go over results from the Recreation Master Plan, as well as receive some updates from the city manager and the town on some joint projects there. The public hearing for the budget ordinance and the other 2 ordinances to amend the town code is again scheduled to start at 6 p.m. on the 12th of May here in the town council chambers. Those are being published in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph as advertised. They'll be run twice in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph. Obviously, the first reading occurred tonight. Second reading will occur on the 12th of May. At the public hearing, I anticipate following the public hearing and any changes that occur from the public hearing for votes to occur on all 3 ordinances on the 9th of June. That gives us the remainder of the month to execute those and have them ready for the 1st of July. Or any questions? That concludes my.
You want to have any questions for the manager? Not hearing any. Very well. Next item is council comments. We'll start with Megan.
I want to thank all of you. All hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to thank you all for being here. And, I wanted to say something. I've seen, just like lots of conversation and had lots of folks reach out to me with questions lately. So I do want everyone to feel free, to those of you who do, to call me, text me, whatever that is. And, I know, Ms. Helmiller, you mentioned that, we're not here. I wish I could be here, but I have lots of kids and have to work my full-time job, but if that were the case, I would be glad to be here. And so anyway, with that not being something that, I can be here often, I really do mean it when I say please call or text me. And like I said, thank you to those of you who do. And if you need my number, please come see me after. I really want to pass it out. And if this weren't streamed on YouTube, I would say my phone number right now, but I won't do that. But, and as you all, and as I've seen so many, frustrations on social media with wondering like, oh, well, we didn't hear about this military drill that was happening at 2 a.m. I'm thankful that people ask questions and talk, and I want to say, Andy did a good job of giving us the heads up before he gave everyone else the heads up. But I want you all to know that's not something that we had a long notice on either. It was, and Andy could probably share more if we had more specifics. But anyway, I just want to promise you that I mean it when I say I want to serve, and it wasn't something that I knew and was keeping. And I just want to be completely transparent. I struggled a little bit at first. I thought, I feel like people were skeptical of me, and I still am learning so much of what I'm doing. And I thought, well, I don't even know what I'm doing yet. And people are so mad at me. And the Lord showed me, he said, well, Megan, you have, as a conservative, you have wanted people to be skeptical of government ever since you came to your conservative beliefs. So be thankful that they have questions and concerns. So anyway, I mean that, really, come to me anytime I can try to answer a question. And I can almost guarantee you I'm going to say I have to ask Andy or the mayor or another council member as I'm still learning. But, and then thinking of, a lot of your frustrations regarding the budget, I think the mayor did a wonderful job explaining, but, there are so many, and I completely understand where everyone's coming from, but, thinking of, what our state legislature's done with our minimum wage drastically increasing, that hurts us, and that scares me. Like I said, I have a lot of kids, and I'm not excited about having to pay more out of pocket either, but I heard, what was it, Angie, you said, well, we could lose a couple officers, or, we could cut back in some of those ways to not have to do this. And anyway, it's a situation that it's really just so much out of our control with minimum wage going up and health insurance premiums. I mean, we know what Obamacare has done to health insurance. And anyway, not only do we have to pay more for our own health insurance, we have to pay more to provide health insurance for town employees. And there are, more economic problems coming from, decisions made in Richmond. So as you all feel frustrated about what's going on like we do, let's just please all vote in November for state and federal elections, because those I see it in a whole new way, how it's really impacting, kind of where we are with things. And I felt like I had something else. Anyway, I'll stop. I've talked forever. I didn't mean to do that. But thank you all so much for being here. And really, please call me, text me anytime. I love to serve. And anyway, I'm always here. And like I said, I promise there's going to be times when you come to me, and 9 out of 10 times I won't have the answer. But I'll work to get it for you. So anyway, thank you.
Well, thank you, Megan.
Wait, Andy has something.
Ma'am, did you want me to talk about the military exercise?
Could you? I think lots of people have questions. Thank you.
Well, as you know, probably about 30 minutes before the text alert went out, I was alerted about military training exercise that was executed or supposed to be executed in West Virginia. This is one, it's called the Ridge Runner. It's been executed for probably at least 2012 that I know of. When I was the director of training for Special Forces Command, we were executing these with 19th Special Forces Group, which is headquartered in West Virginia. This exercise specifically that night was supposed to be executed in Princeton. For whatever reason, the location that they wanted to use became off limits. Why, I don't know. So with our background and my background, they attempted to get a hold of Mr. Marson and myself to see if we could offer some of our land to utilize. I easily agreed to that we have a remote location, a public works location on Guernsey Street. The unfortunate piece of it was that they were going to go loud around 2 in the morning, which I wasn't overly happy with. But the location and what they were going to use, I knew probably would not be heard by any resident. So, again, with my background, I would not turn down an opportunity for our soldiers to receive training. It's very important, especially in the organization that I used to be a part of, for us to do things that are called realistic military training. Those occur throughout the United States in urban environments to replicate real scenarios, real environments, etc. The unit that was executing this was 3rd Special Forces Group, based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So, again, I said, yes, we can do that. The conditions are the location that I picked. The mission was for the A-team to recover what was known as an ammunition cache for a, you could say, terrorist or insurgent group that their information had led them to find, and that they were supposed to conduct a direct action to recover that cache. Now, I'm going through a lot of detail here. Ms. Karen did call me, and I didn't go through that level of detail. Perhaps a fault of my own, it just seems second nature to me, but, then on the text alert, so we sent out the text alert, I would say within about 30 or so minutes of me being alerted that I gave approval for this to occur in the town, we notified the 911 dispatcher that if anybody heard gunshots in that area, that it most likely was a military training exercise. The police force were notified, and I had the police officers stationed on, Chief did, I shouldn't say I did. We worked with Chief and through Lieutenant Bradshaw, and our officers on duty that night were stationed on Guernsey Street. And I have had absolutely one person call me about this, and that was Ms. Karen. To my knowledge, nobody heard anything, nobody saw anything. The police officers that were stationed there didn't see anything. Executed that night under night vision goggles. The report I received back at the raid was executed at 2:34 in the morning. There were 20 gunshots on the target. So if anybody does have an issue with this, please come talk to me. I'm usually sitting up there. I eat lunch at my desk, so I don't go out for lunch. I believe I'm accessible. I may not be all the time. That's true. I will never pass up an opportunity for our soldiers to train. I will never pass up an opportunity to offer our facilities, our location. I think this is a tremendous benefit to the soldiers. I think it can be a tremendous benefit to the town. Economically, patriotically, supporting of our men and women in the military. I executed one of these operations in Texas in 2012. I spent $2.5 million between Galveston, Texas, and College Station in Bryan, Texas. Meals, transportation, lodging, money for role players, you name it. During this exercise, members of that military organization ate at Fincastle, ate at our other restaurants. If we would have had lodging, they would have stayed here. But the exercise was mainly in West Virginia. So I will always allow them to come, and I'll just let you know that now. I had 4 soldiers killed overseas under my command, and I will not turn them away from training to better prepare. If the council orders me to never execute that here again, they may, and I will turn it off. But while I'm here, I will never say no.
Thank you, Colonel. Mr. Chad?
Follow the
Hard following.
Well, thank you, Colonel. Thank you for your passion and your heart. I don't have a lot to say. I will say this, I do look forward to the budget discussion. I would encourage you, if you have questions, you deserve an answer. But more importantly, if you have solutions, I'm in on it too. I live here all my life. I just want to serve and be part of this community. And if you've got an answer to a concern or a problem we have, please, by all means, share it. Let's execute it. Let's move forward. It's our budget together. I would say that. So I'll leave it at that. I think Colonel did much better, so I'm going to leave it at that.
I agree, Andy, and thank you, Andy, for going into the details so people will understand why things are done. And, we're here. Email us, call us. All of our numbers are on, the Facebook, not Facebook, the town website. And, we can't help you or anything if you don't let us know if you have a concern.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Trigg?
I'm sorry to be late tonight, but a few things came up. I'd like to thank what the Colonel was saying, because I was at Fort Bragg, and I was right there at the airport's company, third, so I know the third very well. I could go on without that, but anyway, Special Forces down at Fort Bragg. And everything that's been said, I wholeheartedly agree. And I'm gonna say this, I've been here all my life here in Virginia. If I got a problem, I'm not hard to find, I'm around all the time. Might not be where you are, but I'm traveling around different places, especially eating spots. But if anybody has a problem, you can call me. I'm easy to get along with. Just holler, I'm there. So I appreciate everybody coming out tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Trigg. Ms. Carey?
I had one question. How many members were here?
On that specific target or here in that area?
Here in the area that.
I would say about 25.
Well, I just want everybody to know that I called him out of pure ignorance, because I know nothing. And I knew, I don't know, probably that's never happened here before.
Believe it or not, it has.
It happens all the time.
Well, see how ignorant I am? But anyway, I'm so thankful that I did, because he said it straight. And I'm very proud of the job that he's doing here. He's doing a really good job. And I think he is a man of integrity, and it's like he says, it's old hat for him. For me, it was the first time I've ever heard something like that, as well as some of you, I know that to be true. But I'm so thankful that we are able to do it, and if he wants to do it again, he has my blessing to do that. And so I just want to thank everybody that works here, and they all do a good job. I mean, we're all, it's like Chad said, we're all in this together. And our taxes are gonna raise too. We're gonna be paying that under $2 on trash that sometimes doesn't get picked up, but that's another story. But thank you all for coming out and sharing. I appreciate it. That's all.
I only have a couple items. Like everybody to drive around town, especially over in the Pine Hill Park, Parkview Heights neighborhood, see our new park. that, we worked so hard to get. It will be dedicated soon when the thing is made to Cecile Barrett, our longtime mayor that passed away, about a year ago. And we needed to honor her in some way, and she was always for the children for the park, so it's a fabulous park. I have never been by there that there wasn't a tremendous amount of kids in there, and I'm really thankful that. One thing that I'd like to state, our police department, has grown over the years, which takes more money. But if you would watch them, the training that they have, the training they go through, and it's shown in the situation on Cumberland Road, not Cumberland Road, over top Bluefield College University. Those guys are amazing, and we don't see that they train. We don't see it all the time, but they are really dedicated and hard at it. And the other thing I'd like for everybody to understand, we all take it for granted, I'm one of them too. We have probably the best fire department anywhere around. Anytime there's a fire anywhere else, they always call us. And they are, and it takes money, I hate to say that, it takes money, and we try our best to do things, to have events and stuff for the citizens of the town. Every event that Carl was talking about is all for the people. We want you to come, we want you to enjoy it, we want you to have a good time. The training for the officers, I thought was fabulous. And I know everybody here knows more about this than me, but you saw what happened the other night, and you saw what Secret Service, FBI, and the training that those people have is amazing. And we have that with our police department, maybe not in the caliber that they have, but we have that. It's amazing how our guys and gals respond to things like that. So I'm very thankful that we have a retired colonel leading us and explaining to us about these military things, because most of us don't understand what, when, where, and how. And it's amazing. I looked at it and I said, well, Mike, maybe it ruffles some feathers, but if it makes the training where they save someone one of these days and all throughout our world and throughout our country, I have to support anything that has to do with the men and women that wear the uniform. So I just thank everybody for coming. No concern you have is too big for us. We ask you to come. I don't care what it is. Please come. Let us know. Call us. As Kathy said, we can't try to solve the problem. We don't know about the problem. And I have seen our manager over the years that he's been here. He may not give you the answer you want, but he'll give you an answer. It's one of these deals that I'll get into the idea of flooding. If we spent the money that it would take to stop flooding in Bluefield, Virginia, your tax rates would go up 10,000%. Billions of dollars. But we do what we can with what we have, and our public works guys do a fantastic job. Our water department people do a fantastic job. We really and truthfully have a good group of people in Bluefield, Virginia. And I'm very partial to think that we have the best citizens anywhere around, because you see citizens helping citizens, people helping each other in various things. And I love to see that. So that's basically all that I have. I would like to let everybody know, because you all haven't seen some of your faces before. We have a new town clerk, Miss Vicki Quisberry, who is our treasurer. Don't call her and ask for money, because the first thing she's going to tell you is we ain't got nothing. And boy, I tell you, to get money out of this bunch is tough. It's real tough. But we're glad to have her. I think this is your second meeting with us, is that not?
Yes, sir.
And she volunteered when our clerk moved on to another job at another location. She volunteered, as busy as she is, she volunteered to step forward and help us, and I'm very appreciative of that. Those are the kind of people that work in Bluefield, Virginia. We have a good leader, real good leader. And please remember to say a prayer for his mother tonight. She's 91 years old today, and the sweetest lady you've ever seen. She's just fantastic. Miss Carol, she's just something. So with that being said, does anybody have anything they'd like to bring before the council? Not hearing any. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Like, minus, or no. Vote no, then your vote's in.